Hello and welcome to the Life in Style conversation series digital version this time. My name is Melissa and I'm going to be running through some retail business strategy. So I hope this you're coming here excited, interested to see what things you may pick up and learn, and hopefully you can take this away and learn a few things that you can implement in your business. So let's get into it. I will just share my screen. All right, so we are running today with the retail business strategy. We are going to be covering lots of different things. I'm just going to give you a little intro here in case you have not met me before. So those of you who haven't, hello and welcome. Those of you who know me, great to see you back here. My name's Melissa. I've been in the retail, fashion and design industry for over 20 years, and I've had lots of different roles within that time. I've been a retailer, so I get where most of you are coming from. I had a children's wear retail and lifestyle store for over 10 years. And within that time, we had a few different locations, a few different multiple stores at a few different points, and a few different pop-up stores as well over that period. I sold that store a number of years ago now. So since then, I've been working with lots of retailers on their business as well. In the past also though, I have been a wholesaler. I've had my own brand for had multiple stockists all over Australia, New Zealand, and distributors around the world. And then with also after that, sales manager, worked for wholesale brands in the women's wear market, in the homewares market. So done a few different roles as a wholesale national sales manager. And then also I've been a teacher and a lecturer. So I used to teach fashion business at a Melbourne Fashion Institute, and then also I was a high school teacher, maths and science teacher. So a little bit of variety there, but hopefully that means that I can help you, with lots of different things. And I'm coming from having been there, done that as well. So I do understand the task and the roles and the job required to work in retail and have your own brand or retail store. So as a business coach and consultant, which I've been doing the last 3 to 4 years, really I've worked with over 150 different types of brands, personal entrepreneurs, retailers, fashion labels, interior designers, all to help them grow and manage their business. So I work in a capacity with like one-on-one as a coach, and then also I have a membership for retailers, which is a monthly membership, and then I have lots of other online courses and stuff too. So a lot of online things right now at the moment, especially. I do also visit retail stores and do that sort of thing as well when that opportunity comes up again. I just love helping lots of different people and working with you to manage your business, maybe offer fresh eyes and perspective on what you haven't been able to see. So give you opportunities and a chance to review, refresh, and analyze where you're at with your business. So I've sort of gained lots of things from working with people too. So I've got that background of picking up from everyone that I work with something new that I can then also share with others to sort of help you learn as well. All right, so let's get into it. What we're doing today is I wanted to, Life in Style have sort of said, we're doing our conversation series digital this time. What we are doing, can you do some business strategy? So the tools today, the webinar today is all about to help you move forward, help you with strategies to work on your retail business, and then guide you in ways to build a stronger presence as well. So let's go further. So we really wanted to, I wanted to sort of give you the chance to look for opportunities. We're going to evaluate and review, analyze your data. These are the things you should be doing. So take action to build a stronger business. The time right now is the perfect opportunity to be doing this. So I think it's opened up a lot of avenues for people, which is exciting. And sometimes, it's obviously shown also that it might be time to move on with certain things. So opportunity, as I said, either some people had to close business, some people had to step away and not have their bricks and mortar store open, or others had the chance to sort of take a step back because obviously everything else in life wasn't as busy, and really figure out what your business is all about. So what's working in your business and what's not. That's something that if you haven't already done, that's really something I would highly encourage you to do, just to have a little look through about what areas you love, what things that have seemed to work really well, what things may come back once everything, gets back to a sort of new normal. But what should you be changing? What can you do differently? So a lot of a few stores that I've worked with clients one-on-one, they have had maybe 2 or 3 elements to their business, and then had this chance to look at it and say, well, that area is not working as well. I don't love it. It's taking up a lot of my time and it's not really giving me much back. So maybe I change that area of my business. Can you add different elements to your business? So does that sort of area still work? So one of the things a client has done is add flowers to their offering, or indoor plants to their offering, because it sort of worked in with what their clients were wanting. So is that something you can add to your business that you hadn't had the chance to, or hadn't had the time to before, that now you can add that in? Can you add local delivery as an ongoing for a little while to sort of service those customers who necessarily can't go out or not supposed to go out? Can you add that element to your business? This is a really good chance to sort of see what could work, what opportunities have come up because of the current state of the market at the moment and the world. So what can you review and analyse and see what their opportunity could be? How can you continue to evolve to make sure you stay relevant? So have you got your online store up and running? If you haven't, have you got a way for people to communicate with you? So we'll go into that in a little bit now, but really looking at your business, overviewing it and say, that part works, that's doing really well, this one isn't, I've got to change that and do something different. So take the time to sort of know what you love about your business as well, and really try and do that more if that's something that works and is bringing you in the incomes you want. So reviewing and analysing, where are you now? Check your data. So many people don't use their data enough. And this comes back to whether you don't have the right systems in place in terms of your online, your point of sale. Do you have information that you can gain from that? If you don't already have it, I'd highly recommend getting some sort of point of sale system. So what you're using that more to get more data, or breaking it down your sales into different categories. So what can you do in your business to make sure that you have more data, but not just have it, but how can you use it? So what is it telling you? Is it telling you that if you have fashion, that clothing works well for you? Within the clothing, dresses and tops are your best sellers. So that should be where you're spending your money. Are you making sure that your stock levels for that are right for the data that's telling you that that's where your sales are coming from? Is it the jewelry's working really well for you in your store? Do you have good margin on those products? Really looking at your sales data, telling you what you sell, when you sell it, what size range even that you sell, what categories within those areas. So it might be dresses, but maybe you sell long sleeve, loose fitting dresses. What information can you get from what you've already sold and what has been your business for previous? Should you, as I said, should be increasing stock levels of certain categories? Is it that homewares are going to be doing better for you right now than a different category? Is it that you should have that your margin on a particular product is better on product A than it is on product B? So how can you sell more of product A so that your margin increases of your overall business? And that may be that you bundle things together. So I'll go into that towards further on as well. But how can you make sure you sell more of those products that you got a better margin on? What should you be deleting from your business? It's time to move on. Maybe you got a category in that a few people have asked for, but it hasn't moved as well as what you wanted. So time to move on. Don't be afraid to delete categories and things that aren't working for you as well. And make sure you just sort of review that regularly so you can say, okay, that no longer is working for my business. It's time to move on from that category or area in my range and my offering. You may have had this come up that you've realized that you only relied on foot traffic coming into store and you didn't actually have a good database or a good way to contact your customers. So maybe a few of you have added an online presence if you didn't already have it. So that's great that you can. It's no good if you're only relying on that one source of income. So now what can you do to expand that? Have you added the online? Have you added the, shop version on Instagram or on Facebook? What can you do to make sure you have not just that one source of traffic or one way to contact people? Also comes into your marketing that some people have a huge Instagram following or a small one, but they don't actually use it and they don't actually have any emails from people. They don't own anything on their database. So how can you have more than one source of marketing? So whether it's you have social media, but you also have, competitions going on, what else can you do to get that marketing going and not just have social media or not just have an email database? How can you work everything together to make sure you have more than one source of marketing going on and really trying to reach more people? So that's what we'll get to as well. Okay, so really, and this comes back to as well, getting to know your customers and their needs. So what do your customers want right now? Have you asked them? Have you talked to them? Have you checked what they're responding to? Have you looked at what they're engaging with more? Have you really tracked on your website, where people are going first, what they're doing? Have you tested out different elements in your business? So have you added more leisure wear, because that's obviously a trend right now? Have you added more homely products, because that's something that's people are spending more time at home? So what can you do, and have you taken the time to understand your customer to know what their needs are? So that's really important. So that's not just about initially what you want, but what your customer wants is really important here. Do they want more deliveries? Do they want you to, are they, super excited that you offer click and collect or, pick up, that you can drop off things as well? What did they want? And maybe talk to them more about their needs as well, and just sort of engage and interact with them about what their needs are right now. Do they want particular brands in store? Do they want new categories offered? Really understanding what's working with your product mix at the moment, and reviewing the brands that you have available and looking for what opportunities may have come up that you, if you know your customer, if you understand your target market deeply, then you know what other brands they like or what other areas of interest they have in their life. How can you engage them so that you can service that customer better? If you have a good understanding of your target market as well, then you can talk to them. So if you have that target market really nutted down, you create that avatar, this is my target market is, woman of, she's 39, she's got 2 kids, she lives in these sort of areas. These are her interests. These are the things she has time to spend on. That's, you're really diving into that avatar. Then you really want to use that avatar to the way you talk to customers, the way you market to customers, and the way you buy for your customer. So it doesn't mean that other people can't buy it, but it just means that you have a direction and a pinpoint focus when you're talking and you're marketing and you're buying, because you understand who that customer is at their core. It's really important. Where to next? So there are a number of ways to grow your retail business. So you can obviously get your current customers to buy more. Oops, sorry about that. Get your current customers to buy more, make more repeat purchases. You may have heard the term the LTV, which is your lifetime value of your customer. If you can increase, once you've got that customer, if you can increase the lifetime value, which means they stay with you longer and longer, then any money you spend to get new customers is going to be well worth it. So how can you get them to stay with you longer? And then also, how can you get each customer to buy more when they buy. So what can you do to increase the average order value that people spend with you as well? So these are a few things that you need to work on. The next one is adding more customers. And when to get those customers, make sure they actually convert. So how can you actually get them to either buy when they're in store or buy when they're online? How can you get them to convert? And then the other way to make more, obviously, income is to increase the average margin of your product. So these 4 things are the ways that you can increase your sales, increase your actual profit, and overall, grow your business. So I'm going to go through some of these now. How do you actually do this? It's a key question that I get asked regularly. How do I get more customers? And one of the things I do talk about is that you don't necessarily need more customers all the time. You need to actually service the ones you've got as well and get them to be increasing the regularity of their buy and how much they buy. Okay. So servicing those current customers, connection. You need to connect with your loyal customers on a level like never before. So your staff should know them, they should help them, they should understand and solve their problems and be there for them. So whether that's that they're ringing up and asking you for advice, whether that's in DMs, your customers ask you questions, whether that's you replying on Facebook to an inquiry, how do you service your customers that you currently have and the loyal ones that you've got? So really connect with them and make sure that you're doing everything possible when you've got that customer either in store or online to service them, to help them, to guide them in the right way, to offer them what they want to be offered. So understanding who your customer is crucial. Email marketing obviously is a way to connect with your current customer. So if you've got their data, their emails, so many stores that I work with have, this huge list of customers that they see all the time or they know. And first of all, they might have had their emails. So their starting point is to get their emails. But second is to make sure that you're letting them know what's happening. So it's not just about selling to them, but it's about, servicing them. So talking to them about what you've got coming in, educating them on the brands that you have in your store, educating them on your values, what's important to you as a store, talking to them about all the work that you do behind the scenes so they understand your story, looking at who your target market is and then offering them things that aren't necessarily you selling to them, but if you've got a group that are young mums, what can you do to offer them tips to for the first few years of motherhood? If it's if you've got a group who are a target market who are slightly older, what are their interests? What are their specific things that they love that you can also talk to them about? I always talk about one of the brands that I love. Their emails that I get is bed threads. So that is a really great way to get that, they connect with their customer in a way that's not just about selling their product. So it's really about them, showing you how to renovate your rental, telling you about your food that you can cook that night. So they're not just talking to you about the product, they're telling you about you as a person, what other things they can help you with. So I really think that's a great tips and goals for stores to make sure when they're emailing their customers, it's not just about what product they have in, but what their passions are, what their loves are as well, that target market, and tying that into your messaging as well. So I just would like to also, make sure that you build that loyalty, offer them something different. So it's not just about, what products you have, but it's also about giving them an incentive for being on your mailing list. So do they get first access to things? Do they get new releases? Do they get a special discount code? What can you give them that services them and makes them feel important and valued as well? A lot of stores will have a loyalty program. And I've talked to a few people about how much that may cost you as a business, but what you've got to understand is that lifetime value of your customer. Once you've got them, if you can spend a little bit to keep them, then it's going to save you then trying to get new customers all the time. So really ensuring that you look after your current customer and offer them incentives to stay with you and shop with you and be with you all the time. Tell your story too, you know, why you do what you do, why you buy these brands, what resonated with you when you bought this product. How can you tell them that story? Relationships are crucial. So people buy from people. They want to know who you are as a brand, not necessarily you personally, but your whole story behind the store or the product, or you know, your staff that you have in store. So can you tell them more about it and get them to connect with you in that way? Okay. So once you understand your customer a little bit better and you know who they are, buying smarter. So how can you understand, you know, what products you need in store when, to make sure you have the right stock at the right time? So this again comes back to the analysis and reviewing. If you've got good systems in place and you can see that, you know, that product turns over much faster than another product category, so you've got to make sure that you always have that product in stock. Are your supply chain sorted out so that you know that your supplier always has a product, or do you need to order it, you know, 3 months in advance to make sure it gets delivered at the right time? Make sure that your best-selling products you always have available and you always have stock of, or you don't miss out on opportunities that may come up. So yeah, and making sure you've got projections going on. So do you have the right stock coming in at the right time? So again, you don't want you know, gone are the days where you could just have 2 deliveries a year of your fresh fashion, and then, you know, it just drops in February and it drops in August or September. You need to have things coming in regularly. And it also, for your cash flow as a business, you can't just have these huge deliveries. You need to keep people interested, and you need to keep you know, new freshness coming in all the time. So how do you make sure you project what stock gets delivered when? Make sure that you're on trend, you know, with the seasonal things that are happening. Make sure that your, you know, your Father's Day gift ideas come in plenty of time in August, so that you've got that stock at the right time. How do you make sure that you get Christmas things in at the right time? Like a lot of stores, you know, react and think too slowly that I need more stuff in, and it's, you know, the first week of December, whereas your suppliers might not be able to do that for you. So really projecting when your stock's coming in, using your data to see if you've got the right amount of stock of the right type of stock at the right time. So really analysing, reviewing that data and checking what stock categories you sell the most of, and if you have the right amount of that. One store that I work with at one stage, really awesome, amazing information. Like they knew that tops was their best seller, but then when they looked at their buy, that wasn't reflected in their buy for the next season. So they had way more bottoms in their buying for the next season, even though all their best-selling category was tops. They didn't have enough stock to get those sales projections for the next season that they would have had if they, you know, based on their previous data. So really important to know what stock you need, when you need it, and to really break down your spending to make sure you have the right amount of the right product. Okay, so also review and analyze, you know, what hasn't moved. So a few people, again, I've had stores let me know that, you know, they don't want to lose money. They wanted to make margin on that product. But if that stock has been there for a long time, if it's a slow moving item, you're better off getting, you know, the money back from that item with a special giveaway or a flash sale or a promotion, and replace it with stock that you can actually make a margin on, because that stock sitting there is just cash sitting there on your shelf. You know, it's just wasted. So you need to move stock and understand if something hasn't moved, or a category or a group, get rid of it. So whether that's a special sale or even a donation at times, if there's really slow stock sitting in there, then it's time to donate, get rid of it, get some, you know, cash back on what you actually had that is no longer serving you. And again, this doesn't mean that you, excuse me, doesn't mean that you have sale all the time or you just sell that particular product, but maybe do a flash sale and get rid of everything at a really low price, just to get that money back to buy the stock that you're going to make better margin on. So really figuring out what promotions work for your store and your type of business, because it's not going to be the same for everyone. Okay, experience. So this is crucial for, it's a new metric of retail essentially. So whether it's in store or online, you need to offer your customers an experience that they remember. So they need to feel special. They need to feel something. They need to feel connection. They need to have that positive experience, and they tell their friends about it or talk about it or come back to you again and again because they've had a positive experience. In store, that may come down to, music, ambience, your flowers, your staff members. So what does your store convey, and how does it make them feel a part of that? So do you, have the loyalty programs? Do your staff know all your best customers really well and know things about them or personal things that they can connect with them on? If online, that needs to be, you need to have a seamless checkout. You need to make that experience of buying simple, quick, easy. How often have you looked through how your own website works? So how easy is it to buy something and check out? Or how easy is it to buy one thing and then add another item to your cart and then check out? Really go through the whole process of how people use your website is crucial as well. So I do this, I have a course as well for this, which is a Get Your Business Online Ready. And that's just something that I go through quite detailed, which you can find the information about at the end. But essentially it's, how do you make sure that your online website and your whole presence is giving that connection to people, giving them a good experience? How well do you, once people join up to your mailing list, do you have an automation going out, a welcome sequence, making sure that they feel like they know who you are and they understand your story, you've told them things about you, you've offered them something different. Do you have that set up so that they can have that, communication with you as a customer? They understand that you know who they are. How well packaged and thoughtful is your delivery? This is something that, this is something that so many people, as a, last minute forgetful thing at the end. So don't just shove it in an express post bag, and no note, no card, no wrapping. And I'm not saying you have to have over the top packaging or anything like that, but it needs to be thoughtful. Is it a handwritten card, that you send out that order? Is it personalized with their name on it? Do you offer information about returns or, credits if they need it? How thoughtful have you made that process? Are they going to be excited to open that delivery? Are they going to get an experience when they get that parcel? How excited are they going to be to get into it and find out what's inside, or, not find out because they probably know, but get into the layers of what you send them. So the whole experience is crucial for you to increase that lifetime value of your customer and hopefully increase the average order that they spend with you ongoing. Now, staff, crucial. So whether they're staff in store or whether they're staff online and offering customer service or responding to you in a certain way, they need to have the same values and portray the same feeling that you would in store. So what is important for them is to, make sure that you trained your staff well, that they have the same passion and feeling for servicing your customers, helping your customers, that one customer experience can make a huge difference to your, ongoing business. So really important that they have that same passion and excitement and feeling for trying to help customers and servicing them and offering them something different or a good experience. Okay, so now I'm just talking about the how to increase that average order value. So bundles and offers. What can you do to get them to spend more money, essentially? So do you offer multi-packs of items, buy 3, get percentage off? This may work. I've got a art client that I work with that, she photographs things in the 3s as well. And it works really well that people will buy in that way. And make sure that on your website, people can buy in that way. Another client of mine does baby sheets. So essentially you can, she had a, you know, when you're buying that sort of product, you do need more than one of those things. So she had a bundle where if you bought the 2 colors, then, you know, the third one you could get a discount off, or buy at 2 you get a discount, and at 3 you get more. So how can you do it in a way that make people buy more at that one time? As I said, yeah, display them in a way that encourages increased units. So that's definitely in store that you can do that, so that people will see that you've got multiples or extra items that they can buy. If you have a bestseller, if you find, you know, that data that says that this is just crazy, I can't believe how many I've sold of this particular item, can you get more colorways in it? Or can you do a collaboration with one of your suppliers to make sure that you get your own one? So how can you, if you know that things are a bestseller and they've worked really well, how can you then capitalize on that and either get more of the same in different colorways? So I know myself, if I find something that I love, if it fits me well, if it's, you know, it works for me, I'll buy it in 2 or 3 colors. So people do that. It's something that if they're loyal to something, if it works and it fits, so it's sort of worth investing in that as well. If you have, you know, some things are lower margin and higher margin, how can you bundle them together so that you increase your overall margin of your product? There was a story I've read about a tea, I think it's not tea, but it was a company that had, you know, they had their tea accessories and their tea, and the things that they were selling more of was the lower margin products, but then they combined a gift pack to have both together, and then that increased their overall margin. So thinking about that in your store, and that's really why it's super important to make sure that when you enter your products into your systems that you have, that you put the right cost price in and the supplier price, so that you can actually calculate what your best margins are and where you're generating the best margins in your business. To increase the order up online, you can offer free shipping or local delivery. So, you know, we've all added to an extra thing to cart to get that boost over the line, so you don't pay for postage, but you actually get something for it. So what can you do to push that above a certain level? So you might have lots of products at $45. So you wouldn't offer you would offer your free shipping for $50, so that someone has to buy more than one to get that free shipping. And within that, you've got to make sure that you have options available for people in different price points, so they don't have to buy you know, another $45 item, but they can actually just buy you know, a $20 item. So it increases their value, average order value, but it doesn't necessarily, you know, double what they were going to spend, because they're less likely to do that. So yeah, what's that tipping point for your business? Maybe it's $100, maybe it's $150. It's going to be different for everyone. But what's that tipping point that if your average order at the moment is $60, how can you get it to $65 or $70? What can you do to push that up a little bit so your average order value is up as well? Okay, so counter add-ons, that's an example of that, obviously in store, how you can add that, you know, increase that average order value. That, can they get a card as well? Can they get a little, you know, cute accessory for one of their, you know, friends as a small gift? Offer a gift with purchase. So that's another way to bundle and an offer. So you might be able to source from a supplier a really great item that is, you know, really high margin. So you might be able to just have that as a giveaway. What can you do to help? Or you can get suppliers actually donate things to you that you could do as a gift with purchase. So at a certain point, you might do that. So whether it's a, you know, Mother's Day or Father's Day or Christmas, how can you have, if they spend over $100, then they get this free print? Or if they, you know, what can you do to give a gift with purchase? People love to get a freebie and something extra. Have limited time deals. So this can work really well too, to build up, and if you do a build up anticipation. So I see it more and more now with online suppliers and bricks and mortar, but they build up that something's coming, it's going to be released, it's not there yet, it's not just there all the time, it's going to be, you know, like if you get it, there's only limited amounts, you got to get in when it's open. the cart opens at 8 o'clock on a Sunday or whatever it might be. How can you have limited time deals to get that sense of urgency and that sense of anticipation for someone to buy and buy quickly, because otherwise they know it's going to be gone. So that's something that I think if you can start to implement parts in your business like that, and that's where the flash sale type of thing comes into, that you have it for 24 hours, that's it, done, gone, you won't be offering that again. How can you build up that anticipation for certain products or certain categories within your store so that people buy as soon as it's available? Okay, so we've gone through sort of how to, I'm just gonna flip back, how to go from, you've reviewed and analysed, you've looked at what opportunities there are. We're trying to service the customers you've got by increasing the lifetime value. We've looked here at adding the average order value, how can you increase that? Now we're going to look at how to get new customers. It's one of the things that I get asked all the time for my clients, how can I increase the amount of customers that I have? Okay, so first of all, you have to understand your target market, work out where they are and turn up. So be where their attention is. If their attention is on Instagram all the time, then be on Instagram. If their attention is in LinkedIn, then be on LinkedIn. Where is their attention? You've got to show up and be consistent. Okay, so no, you can't set and forget and never turn up except for expect people just to come into your store in foot traffic or turn up at your website without actually trying to attract them in some way. Advertising and promote to them. So whether that is Facebook ads, Instagram ads, just if you haven't already tested this out. So Facebook obviously owns Instagram, so that's why I'm just talking about these things together. You can just, if you know that their attention is only on Instagram, you can create a Facebook ad that only goes into Instagram. If you know that your customers respond to stories, Instagram stories, they spend their time there, that's where you put your ads. That's where you put your where you advertise to them, so that's where they can find you. There's so many different companies who will work with you on Facebook ads. You can get agencies to set it up for you, then you manage it, or you can test them out yourself to see how you go. There's lots of things you should do first before you sort of get into that point, but there's definitely an avenue that you should be looking at. And that's something that, we work on that in the membership that I run as well, that you get everything right first on your website and in your business, and then you're going to be promoting to get more people to see you as well. So they've got to be implemented in the right way. So it doesn't just have to be paid advertising though. You can have events. You can, if you know that all your customers, respond really well to these top influencers, then you work with influencers. Maybe that's where you spend your money instead of doing Facebook ads. How can you do a collaboration? How can you work with another company to capture their audience and their target market if it's related to yours but not necessarily a competitor? Maybe you're a fashion store and you can collaborate with a shoe store or something else like that as well. How can you do that so that you attract each other's audiences? You might work with a local cafe because then you're offering something, that's in a particular area or community. So it doesn't have to be the same sort of type of thing. It can really be lots of different areas, collaborations. There's huge amounts that you can do with that. Excuse me. Competitions as well, so that could be a collaboration form, but how can you do a competition with lots of other brands or another store, or one of your brands or three of your brands that you have in store? You could do a competition about that particular product for your customer with certain products. How can you do these things to sort of attract a bit of attention, excitement, get new people to notice you? So all these things are ways that you can sort of get new people to find out about you. It's about, enticing, exciting, delighting. So doing things that your customer, it's exciting. It's sort of something different. So then they've noticed you, or their friends tagged you in on the competition. So then you find out about that new brand. So there's lots of ways you can do this. So again, I've just mentioned this again from before. So tell your story too. People respond to people. So if you're telling your story, your people understand who you are, what you offer when they come across you, then they'll connect with you. So you're not going to be for everyone, but I think having that, if people can see your story when they come across your brand and your store, then that makes it easy for them to connect with you longer term as well. Social media. So obviously, if that's where your customer's attention is, then it's really important that you focus this here. You have to be present here. You have to be offering all different types of engagement, whether it's video, whether it's photography, it's conversations with customers. Are you talking to them in DMs? Are you engaging with them on their posts? You need to be not just sales, but you need to be about and product, but you need to be about your store, behind the scenes, your staff who are working for you, what photography you're doing. Are you creating a flat lay? What coffee you're having this today from your local coffee shop or lunch? It's got to be about you and your business, not just your product. Okay, so that's really important factor here. You should create new imagery regularly. So it's your imagery, your content, not all the time, but that's definitely relevant. I've just put that photo in here as well, which is a cute little baby. So this is a brand that I work with that she doesn't take the photos herself, but she uses ambassadors. So she sends her product out to a few ambassadors, which basically they get the free product and they take the photos for her. So she's always getting fresh new content. Okay. Share who you are, engage with people. A big part of your social media should be social. It should be really about interacting with people and commenting and being showing personality on here as well. Content planning is crucial here. I mean, I've said good idea, but it really is something that needs to be done. That is actually one of the freebies I have on my website if you wanted to download a content planner. So that'll help you in that as well. And that's something actually we do heavily in the membership too, just so that you know that that is an option. Okay, point of difference. Why should people come to you? What's different about you? What do you have that's not available anywhere else? What special items have you sourced, or what collaborations have you created? What special colorways do you offer? Do you have a different size range to other stores? What do you have that's a point of difference? So really important here to understand what your point of difference is, and then also express that and let people know what that is. So talk about it, tell people about it. Do you import? Are you the only stockist of this particular brand in Australia? Are you the only one who has this colorway? What is your point of difference? And tell people about it. I've just got a photo here of a brand that I met at Last Life in Style, and they're just creating and working with small artisans, and they're working with very unique pieces. So that's their point of difference. They've got what no one else has got here at all. So having something in your store and making sure you express that is really important. Okay, website. As I mentioned, we do a whole course on this. So is your website and your business online ready? Customers need to see what is available online. So this obviously is crucial right now when stores were having to close. You couldn't have the foot traffic is down dramatically. How can people buy from you if you've got a bricks and mortar store without being in store? So where it doesn't have to be the website, it could just be a Facebook shop or Instagram shop, but you need an online presence, and you need for people to be able to see and buy without having to necessarily make a phone call or come into store. So this may be a no-brainer for a lot of people, but it's certainly something that I know a lot of stores still do not have a online store, okay? And it's another revenue stream. It really is a way for you to make, a percentage of your total sales should come from online. Whether ideally it'd be, 50-50 from online and 50 from retail bricks and mortar. but that depends on your store and what you're doing. But that would be an ideal situation. So then you've got that balance of both. If one's not going as well, or the opportunities for it to be open are not there, you've got your online presence. The main thing here is, though, it has to be a reflection of both. If you've got both, they have to be cohesive. They have to talk to each other. They have to look the same. They have to tell that same story. It should be a seamless transition. I've just put some very key, very short amount of tips there, but just saying, have great imagery, detailed about what you are. You should have detailed and emotive product descriptions. So in a bricks and mortar store, you can sell to customers. You can be in front of them. You can talk to them about how amazing the benefit would be to have this product. Online, you can't do that. So it needs to sell for you. So your product description needs to invoke emotions and be not just facts and benefits of the product. It should be about how it's going to make you feel, or how your bedside table will be transformed by this candle that you have, or the smell that it's going to emit through the house is going to make you feel good. So or the way that you can, this jumper is going to make you feel super cozy and snug and warm. What emotion can you bring to your product descriptions that will help sell the product when you're not there to actually sell it for, in front of people? That is so super important. And also make sure it does have the facts too, like whether it's a 100% wool, or it's an acrylic jumper or a knit jumper. What can you tell me? And even this jug here I've just got on the image, what size is it? I looked at this product, but I wouldn't buy it because I actually didn't know how much it was going to fill up. So I didn't actually know the volume of it, which annoyed me. Anyway, can you make sure that your menus and navigation make it easy to find items? So I don't want to go on your store and have fashion and not be able to then also break that down to go to knitwear. Or I don't want to just go on homewares and have all the homewares and thousands of products on there. I need to have the menu and the navigation help me and figure out where to go and how to find it quickly, so that it's convenient for me to buy it from your website. So those are the things I think are super, super important. Great imagery, detailed and emotive descriptions, and that's another way for people to find you with SEO. And menus and navigation to make it easy to find particular items. So again, I do go through all this in detail in that course that I have, and also in our membership. We talk about this a lot. Not to tell you that too much, but okay. So action points. What you need to do, you need to understand your opportunities that are around. Where's your business at right now? What can you do differently? What can you remove? What can you change? What can you, use your data to figure out what things you should be editing and evolving? How can you make sure you service and retain your current customers, get them to spend more, get them to buy more regularly, be there for them, service them, nurture them, and don't just, try and find new ones all the time. Attract new customers, but again, really get loyalty and service those ones once you have them. And then if you can understand what products you sell give you the best margin and the best pricing, then make sure that will help you grow your revenue and profit. Okay, I hope this has helped. I know I've just talked the whole time super fast. So apologies if it's, gone too quickly for you. I'll just give you this information on here. I do cover this and lots more in the LotCo collective and membership that I have. It's normally only open a few times a year, but I will be putting a special link for those who have watched this here, and that the Life in Style, it's not going to open up until October, but I'm going to do a special link for Life in Style today, so that members can you can become a member by actually being here and being part of this conversation series. I also have that Get Your Business Online Ready course. If someone's keen to sort of review their website, check what they need to have their online presence really strong, get your website and your socials selling for you. So that's, already a step ahead. There's links below for that. And then I've got heaps of other freebies and downloads on my website to help you. So head over to thelotco.com.au and you can check heaps of information out there. I will be doing some more things with Life in Style ongoing, and I'm also going to be in Life and Style February as well, so I'll be part of that ongoing. But yeah, you can find out more about, go to thelotco.com.au, and then on Instagram it's TheLotCo, and you can follow along, find out more information. I hope this has helped you sort of think about a few things in your business, give you a strategy of what things to work on, what sort of steps and things to put in place right now. And yeah, I look forward to either meeting you in person or meeting you online, and chatting and getting to know everyone a bit more. So I hope that's helped, and I will see you all hopefully again soon. Thanks.